fly tying adventure. Today I'm going to be tying the flashback hare's ear. I've gone ahead and added a small glass dark gold bead to a size 14 barbless hook. From there I'm going to use 0.015 lead wire and do about 4 to 5 wraps. Helicopter it off, or snip it off, whatever you prefer, and pull the lead wire wraps close to the bead. There's a little tag in that sometimes sticks up. Sometimes I can get it flush, sometimes I can't. Anyway, no big deal. I'm going to attach the thread. The thread I'm using is A-Dot in olive brown. It's by Uni. Start by attaching the thread to the shank of the hook from behind the lead wraps, stopping where the barb should be, and snip off the excess. For the tail I'm using Coq De Leon, and I want it sparse, so only 4 or 5 fibers, being sure not to make them flush with each other. Measure out a tail and do a pinch wrap. And wrap back to the lead wraps. Now I'm going to attach gold wire for the rib. It's extra small by UTC. That's what I had available at the moment, so and then return back to the lid wraps. Here I'm going to attach the flash, which is going to be a Mirage. The Flashabou Mirage. Snip off a single strand. Single strand will last you quite a bit. Tie quite a few flies with it. Pardon my voice, I'm suffering through some allergies or a cold or something. Attach it so that the flash sits on the center of the hook, center of the shank of the hook. And here we're going to use dubbing. I'm using a Hare Tron, just so it has a little bit of flash. Build a tapered dubbing noodle. You can use wax if you want. This time I didn't. I usually do. If you do use wax, go lightly, and I suggest this, I think it's Rumpf is how you pronounce it, but I'm not quite sure. It comes in a little container. Like that. It's not too tacky at all. And just a little bit on your pinky or whatever finger you choose to use. Rub against the thread, and it doesn't get it too tacky and doesn't make it like all gummy. And wrap it onto the hook. You want it kind of cigar shaped. And you want to stop about what would be considered 2 bead lengths. And now you're going to rib it. Oh no, I'm jumping ahead. You're not going to rib it. You're going to attach the flashback. Try and keep it as centered as possible. Sometimes it can get a little awry, but the fish don't really care, so as centered as you possibly can get it. Now you're going to rib. Being careful that when you're ribbing, it doesn't pull the flash to one side or the other. If it does, just use a bobkin or something, or a needle to kind of push it back, get it back into alignment, which this one needs a little bit. It really doesn't matter, the fish don't really care. The fish will take it either way. And you want to pull the flash back so it sits in reverse. Then helicopter off the material, or the ribbing. Pardon the blur. Let me work on that. There we go. There might be a little jump cut there. Camera went a little bit blurry for some reason. Probably put my hand a little too close to it. Anyway, as I was saying, pull the flash backwards so it sits backwards. Put a couple wraps, forcing it to sit backwards. Trying to keep it centered and aligned with the flashback you already have there. For the covert, I use Pheasant Tail. I want to skip ahead now. These are just fibers. I was making a Pheasant Tail nymphs, and from the excess I had, I've saved the little butts to do shellbacks. I try to be a little frugal. Why waste? And you want to attach it, pulling it over to make sure it's going to be the right size, the right length rather. And this is just a clump, I'd say about 12 fibers for the shellback. For the thorax, I'm going to use a red fox belly fur with a mix. It's a personal mix I do with the red fox belly fur and the body fur itself off of a hide, red fox hide. So basically I take from the belly, I do a 1:2 ratio, 1 belly and 2 body, and I don't clean out anything. I just kind of cut it, mix it all up, and make a dubbing blend out of that. It gives it a nice spiky look, adds movement, and so you want to get a little bit of dubbing, not too much. And dub a loose noodle. You want it loose so it gets really spiky. Rather makes it really spiky. Can't talk today for some reason. I'll try and redo this later, at a time when I'm not suffering from allergies or whatever this is. And now dub a fairly thick thorax. Pull the shell back forward, or the pheasant tail, and attach one loop, just to secure, a securing wrap rather. I do two over, then I pull the fibers back and do two in front, just to make sure it's locked in, and snip close. Camera's giving me some kind of warning, not sure what it is. Anyway, pull forward the flashback rather, so that it sits centered. And do the same thing. Two over and then two in the front, and snip close. I follow that up with two more wraps, and whip finish. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I do apologize for the blurriness and the camera problems. And there's going to be some rumble in there. That's the cars, and trucks, and whatnot. There's nothing I can really do about that. But anyway, I hope you still enjoyed. Thank you.